things, and they will not support the regime that they are in. Just like it was illegal to teach black people reading and writing before.
I remember all that. You're talking to an old person here, so I remember all that.
You don't remember slavery.
I remember slavery.
You don't remember slavery from this lifetime.
No, not from this lifetime.
Right.
I don't know.
But also we have history classes. And if you keep people ignorant, and if you keep people from learning how to read, then they don't know any better. Because nobody in the Islamic culture is going to teach them any better, or the Catholic culture. That's why women were not taught how to read. Only wealthy people sent their children to school. Only extraordinarily wealthy people and far-sighted people sent their daughters to college. There were 4 women one year, I think it was in 1899, 4 women attending college in the United States. So we have made huge strides, but strides should have been there to begin with. Equality of the souls.
I just want this Catholic Church to come to an end because I'm
well,
really
but Marcia,
tired of it.
it's not the only church that has that problem. It's in the Protestant religion.
I understand, but to me, it's the worst. You know, and I only studied Catholicism for 4 years, but then I studied Hinduism, and then I studied Buddhism, and I don't believe in organized religion. If I was going to be anything, it would be a Buddhist. If I was going to be anything.
And why do you say that? Why do you say that you'd be a Buddhist? I happen to love Buddha, as we know, and Buddha Avalokitesvara Green Tara, who deals with healing. Yes. But why do you? What attracts you?
I feel a connection.
Okay.
I feel a connection with it. I always have, from the time somebody taught me about it. I've always felt a connection to Buddhism. Okay.
Okay, and you don't even have to. You don't even have to call yourself a Buddhist to love Buddha. Like you can be a Jew and love Jesus. You can love Buddha if you're Jewish. You can love Buddha if you're Islamic. The idea that you can only follow a certain set of rules and regulations is crazy. So that is what you respond to. And according to records that were discovered in Nepal or Tibet, I can't remember which one, Jesus visited the Buddhist culture. And if you look at where he talks about loving your brother, loving each other, that is very Buddhist. It's exactly what Buddha taught. So Jesus, again, didn't come here to start Catholicism. He came here to fix the Jewish religion because it had cut women out of the daily process of life and spirituality. And he was bringing that equality back, which is what made the Jewish priests so unhappy. Because sadly, and I have this in my next private class that I'm teaching, a bunch of articles. I've said for years that testosterone is a problem. It makes you a bully. And now we have all kinds of scientific data that says women who have too much testosterone are too aggressive, men who have too much testosterone are aggressive, and tend to be in power jobs like stockbrokers. And when they have a big hit and a big win, more testosterone is produced, so they get more and more reckless. So we need balance in this world, and that's what Jesus tried to do, and for that they nailed him to a cross. He did survive, but that's not the point. The point is that too much aggression creates war, which is what this new enlightenment phase is going to bring us, is balance. There are too many countries run by men.
Thank God for that, because there's so much bad stuff going on all over the planet. It's all over the planet. It's so bad.
Yes, it is. That's why we have too many wars and too much money spent on munitions and not enough peace and harmony. And my suggestion to everyone is learn how to meditate. If it's good enough for the Jesuit priests and Catholic nuns and not Orthodox Jews, but the Jews who study the Kabbalah, it's good enough for me and for you. So I want to thank you for calling. We've got a few more minutes in the show, but I want to thank you for calling. And instead of praying for the demise of the Catholic Church, pray for enlightenment for all on the planet. Okay? It's hard to fight a negative with a negative thought. So what you do is pray for enlightenment. Pray for enlightenment for all people, all around the world, in all countries, all cultures. And enlightenment is not cultural. Enlightenment is pure. Enlightenment is the God force. It's not just education, it's the thought process of kindness. Okay, so pray for enlightenment and give us another call again at another show and let us know how you're doing with that.
Okay, I will.
Okay, thank you, Marcia.
And thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm going to ask my producer what kind of time we're dealing with here, so we can talk about that famous God particle, the Higgs boson. And I have the article right in front of me, which I have now lost. Here it is. Okay, you've all heard the great hoopla dealing with the God particle and how the scientists at CERN, which is in Switzerland, that's that high-powered, large hadron collider, and how they discovered the God particle. The God particle can be described this way. It's the Higgs boson. There is energy all around the world, and we must have the energy before we have the matter. Before we have the energy, we have the thought. Then we have the energy, and the energy materializes matter. Well, they found the particle that makes the energy materialize into matter. And that's what they're calling the God particle. Well, that's just sticking their toe in the water. They're going to have to finish analyzing that, which will not happen this year, by the way. But the God particle, quote unquote, can be broken down further. It's the mind of the God force. So when we say God is everywhere, God is everything, I'm in you, you are in me, we're in the plants, we're in the flowers, we're in the pussycats, the birds, the elephants, the planet, the solar system, the galaxies. When we remember that bacteria and we share 85% of the same DNA, you can pretty well understand that everything is everything, as some new age wacko I used to know used to say. But he didn't say it in a practical way. He just said it in his, oh, well, whatever I do is going to be fine because it's all going to work out. I said, no, that's not the meaning of spirituality. That's the meaning of somebody who does drugs and wants to get away with anything that he wants to get away with. Everything is energy thought patterns, materialized in the way that it is supposed to exist, whether it's as a planet, part of a solar system, the matter that holds things together. Scientists used to say that the darkness was empty. Well, it couldn't be empty because everything would collapse into itself. So this Higgs boson is a wonderful, wonderful discovery, because I don't care what religion you are, or if you're an atheist or an agnostic. Atheists deny the existence of God. Agnostics say, prove it to me. I'm open to the thought, but just prove it to me. Well, if you're looking for proof, quote unquote, this Higgs boson is a good beginning for you. But I always say if you want proof, quote unquote, of God, take a look at the smile of a baby. Take a look at the smile of parents watching their child. Take a look at a pussycat being cuddly and adorable. Take a look at a dog running up next to you and just rubbing itself and barking and wanting to play and hop around with you. Take a look at a bird flying next to you and landing next to you as you're out in the garden. Take a look at the bunny rabbit hopping towards you because it's got a flower it wants to nibble that you don't want it to nibble, but it's looking at that succulent little blossom and it wants it. Take a look at a squirrel coming towards you because it wants you to feed it. Take a look at the sky. Take a look at the magic of storms and the beautiful sunshine that comes out afterwards. God is in everything, and we are part of that God particle. We are that God particle. So we'd like you to join us next time. Thank you for being with us this time. This is Linda Bennett from Metaphysically Speaking.